Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are here to watch season 4, episode 21 of Buffy. It is the season 4 finale. I'm very excited. The previous episode did show me like a 1 beside, so I imagine there was like the first part, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be to a 2-part or a 3-part, finale. I think it kind of seems like it's a 3-part finale, which is cool, but which stresses me out because that means that everything that was happening in the previous episode is a setup for what we are about to see. I'm especially thinking about just the squad's relationship because they're clearly at not the best point right now in regards to like their relationships with each other, and they're doubting each other, and just I'm concerned to say the least, because I don't want Buffy to go in alone, but at the same time I don't want her to let them go because finales scare the crap out of me because I always think somebody's gonna die, because season 1 and season 2 kind of like traumatized the hell out of me a little. I do think I stick with my prediction that I think Riley is going to be the one who dies, but I think that's only going to be in the next episode. Season 4 is just so interesting in the sense that like I feel like for season 2 and season 3 you knew exactly what the finale was leading up to, like with the ascension and stuff like that on graduation day, but then for this one it's like I have no idea what Adam's like ultimate plan is. We understand where he's going, but I feel like I don't have the same clarity that I did with like the Master, with Faith, and the Mayor. I'm gonna guess that on this episode, they're sort of going to establish that. We're going to establish exactly what he wants to accomplish so that we can hopefully see him fail in the next episode. I really want us to deal with the Riley thing from the previous episode because honestly, like what the fuck? Because I'm trying to give Riley the benefit of the doubt. I'm like trying really hard. I like him. He's a decent man. He makes Miss Buffandra happy, which means I have to automatically like him, and I do. But it kind of seems like he's about to betray us. So we don't want that to happen. But I do think that that is what is sort of happening. So it's going to be really interesting to have potentially this episode of Riley being on both sides, like playing both sides and deceiving Buffy while we know the truth. So I want to know more about that. I still think that he is being forced to do this. I feel like there's got to be something, I think he's being programmed or some shit. Because I can't believe anybody would betray Buffy like this. I'm worried. Is my word for the episode. Oh yeah, it is called Primeval. I don't know. Sometimes my English fails me. I apologize. I always like to analyze the titles, but at the same time, I have been doing such an spectacularly shitty job at it that I'm just gonna pretend like I don't see this title and move on. I also really want to see how Spike is going to fit into all of this, because we have been toying with this idea of him possibly going into like the good side, but he always comes back to the bad. It would be interesting if he was established as the season 5 big bad, possibly again, like with somebody else. I don't know. I was very convinced that he was having his redemption arc and that this was it for him and that we're on an upwards, spiral and like everything is fine. But every so often I have my doubts about him. Of course, it makes me pissed off because I don't want anybody to help Adam. I want Adam to go fuck himself. But at the same time, seeing Spike as a villain is just so great that it almost makes up for the fact that they're teaming up against Miss Buffandra. I think those are some of my predictions. I think I will be, getting a better idea of what the actual finale is going to do after watching this episode. So we will discuss more after. I hope you all enjoy watching this with me, and let's go see what is going to happen. I'm very excited.
Your thoughts are troubled, in turmoil. I understand, brother. We have a lot to discuss. Speak.
What have you done to me?
Nothing.
See? Oh.
It was Mother. She implanted the behavior modifier.
A chip in my head.
Fuck!
This is phase 1 of your preparation. It lay dormant until the time came. I simply activated it, brother.
Stop.
Oh my god!
I'm not your brother, who's gonna do everything in his power to...
Sit.
Oh no! Oh fuck!
You will know power you've never dreamed of. I think you're going to like it.
I don't think I will.
But there's imperfection everywhere. Something must be done. Who will deliver us? Mother. She saw our future. Yours and mine. She will ensure that as many demons die as humans. She will achieve maximum carnage before she's too weak to go on.
No, you can't.
Stop talking.
Right. The initiative. But getting it there, that's what the bleeding discs are for, isn't it?
I hope you're feeling all right, Mr. Giles.
Oh, yes, quite well, thank you.
Got him.
Talk to her, Giles.
So, see ya.
This is so awkwardly painful. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now we're talking.
Are you still upset about that fight you had with your friends? It was hours ago. Get over it.
Anya, you... Forget it.
So they all think you're a lost, directionless loser with no plans for his future.
Anya, you can't that stuff away.
Why not?
I don't know. Because I think maybe they're right.
Oh, Xander. I don't think we've ever seen Xander this upset, and I don't fucking like it.
This is where it will all happen. Where the new race begins.
Oh, interesting.
Mother kept her secrets well.
Oh, what the fuck?
Professor Walsh?
This is all how she planned it. Except she thought she would be alive.
What the fuck?
Force. Oh, God.
God has nothing to do with it.
Oh my god. That's literally Frankenstein right there. Okay.
Can't ignore valuable information just because you two birds fell out now, can you?
Right.
Well, you do what you want. No worry
Okay.
of mine now, is it?
Okay, Buffy.
She's dead. Artificially reanimated with basic to moderate brain activity. Mommy can hear you, but she's still a walking corpse.
So are you.
Then why don't you get out of that chair and walk out of here?
You can't control my...
Riley. Be a good boy.
Oh, fuck no. This is so bad.
Well, Piffle, let's move on.
I'm moving.
Me too. Good. Great.
This is... I hate this so
So-
much.
Why do you think Spike made with the head games?
Adam's gonna make sure the demons attack the initiative from the inside.
Demons versus soldiers. Massacre, massacre.
And Adam has a neat pile of body parts to start assembling his army. Diabolical, yet gross.
Does anybody else miss the mayor? I just want to be a big snake.
Gotta shut him down, Giles.
Yes.
His final phase is about to start.
Well, what about magic? Some kind of, I don't know, uranium extracting spell?
Yeah.
I know, I'm reaching.
Perhaps a paralyzing spell.
No problem. All we need is combo Buffy. Her with Slayer strength, Giles's multilingual know-how, and Willow's witchy power.
And you, Xander.
Yeah, don't tell me. I'm just full of helpful suggestions.
Game faces, guys. We're going in.
That's awesome.
Spike stirred up trouble.
Yeah, but I think trouble was stir-upable. I think we've all sort of drifted apart this year, don't you?
Maybe a little. But you know, first year of college, it's hard to keep the old high school gang together.
But I want it together. Well, I miss you. And Giles and Xander.
I wanted to tell you, but I was so scared.
You can tell me anything. I love you. You're my best friend.
Me too. I love
This
you
is
too.
so cute.
Falling now.
I love them so much.
Promise to never not talk again.
I promise, I promise.
Xander.
Oh,
I
wonderful
love it.
Xander.
You know we love you, right?
We totally do.
Oh, God, we're gonna die, aren't we?
Oh, we just missed you.
This is so cute.
Including the secret lab?
Including everything.
What secret lab?
The one Adam's been using. The one built for the final stage of the 314 project. And you have no idea what I'm talking about.
I know everything that goes on around here. A tick on
Oh,
a mouse
sweetie.
couldn't get in without my knowing it.
You're all in way over your heads. Messing with primeval forces you have absolutely no comprehension of.
And you do.
I'm the Slayer. You're playing on my turf.
Up there, maybe. But down here, I'm the one who's in control.
Sir, the power grid's down. Backup's not responding. We're locked in.
Oh, damn. We're getting ready. It's all about to go down.
Containment area has been breached. Hostiles are loose.
How many?
All of them, sir.
It's Adam.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
We've got to find Adam. On it.
I couldn't possibly love her more. Holy shit.
Buffy, I still don't like you going in alone.
Me either.
I won't be.
Oh my god. That's very sweet, but not reassuring. Oh.
What is this?
Oh.
Why won't you talk to me?
He can't. He's not programmed to. He's part of the final phase now, as you were supposed to be.
Sorry. I don't jump through hoops on command.
Kill her.
I thought you'd never ask.
We invoke thee. Grant us thy domain and primal strength. Accept us in the powers we possess. Make us mind and heart and spirit join. Let the hand encompass us.
Okay, damn, Riley. Holy shit. Oh no, no. Okay, Riley. Now. Oh my god.
Is that it?
What a fucking man.
No. She's got me.
Oh my god.
Who's come off the bench?
Oh no, he's gonna have to kill Forrest. Damn. That was fucking awesome.
Fun, isn't it?
I do appreciate violence.
Good.
Oh no. Her face.
Been upgrading. You can't last much longer.
We can. We are forever. Shamiandan. Geshtumiandan.
This is really creepy.
Very interesting.
Oh, he's worried for like the first time. Yes! Oh my god.
Can you
Never hope to grasp the source of our power.
What the hell?
But yours is right here.
Wait, how is this happening right now if there's still another episode?
It is therefore a recommendation that this project be terminated and all records concerning it expunged. The initiative itself will be filled in with concrete. Burn it down, gentlemen. Burn it down and salt the earth.
I'm so confused right now. This to me feels like the end of the season, like the conclusion of the story. I don't understand how there would be one episode after this. Oh my god, I'm really confused. I don't think I have much to say other than just question marks all over the place in my head. Like, this episode makes perfect sense, except the timing of it doesn't. They made it very, very clear that this was the ending of the whole Adam storyline, of the Initiative storyline, which, yes, I am expecting. But in the next episode, not right now. I was waiting for the end. I thought there was going to be some sort of twist. They were going to say like, oh, it was all a dream, sort of, it was all a joke kind of scenario of like, oh, this is what Adam was going through in his head to see if it would work, you know? Like, I don't know. I thought it had something to do with like, this is an attempt, and so now they know that this attempt would actually work, and so this is not what actually happened, but it was more about running through the scenario. But it seems like it actually happened. So let's talk about what actually happened this episode, because it was cool. There was a lot of fighting. While fighting is usually not my favorite, I think they had some really awesome things, like some awesome stunts this episode. Both Buffy and Riley, I think, genuinely kicked some fucking ass. You can tell that their budget has been increasing because that scene in the Initiative, like the ultimate chaos of all of it, was really huge and really like action movie kind of thing. Like, there was a lot of money that went into it, and I appreciate it because it made for a really end of the world kind of scenario. It was all very like overwhelming, and like you could sense how bad things were. So I think that was good because it really helped to set the mood, especially with Adam just watching it like a creep. Something else I also loved was that we got to focus on the core four, which I think was so important, especially after the previous episode. Seeing them have, I would say, their first big disagreement. I mean, I was gonna say small disagreements, but then I think of Helpless, like that was a big disagreement with Giles and Buffy, but I just mean that like we have seen them fight, but never like this, because I think that what they have fought about is always about specific scenarios of like, you did this one thing that I don't like, and this was a much deeper talk. It was more about like, oh, you have been deceiving me and not telling me the truth, and this is how you actually see me. Like, it pried on their insecurities, so thanks, but fuck you, Spike. And so I think that's why like it was such a hard fight, because all of them knew that to some extent what the other one was saying, they were scared that it was the truth, you know, like it was all worth it though for that one scene of them going down the elevator shaft and then Xander hugs them too. Like that made it all worth it. I think that was maybe my favorite part of the entire episode. I don't think I had noticed how much I was missing Buffy and Willow's relationship until that very scene, because I don't think I had noticed how distant they had been this season, because to me it felt kind of natural. I think it's what Willow was saying. It's freshman year of college, and unfortunately, as much as you love your high school friends, sometimes you do drift apart a little, but at the same time they were roommates. So to me, I guess maybe I just imagined a lot of it in my head. I didn't really need to see the scenes of them together being roommates, because in my head that was happening all the time. Even though they were out quite a lot, what I mean is that like, even if they are out a lot, most of the nights they're still going to be there, and they're still going to end up being together in the same room and, you know, like talking. So it feels like, to me, while we weren't seeing those things, they were still happening. So I guess maybe that's why I wasn't like awfully bothered by them growing apart a little bit. I just think that, you know, they were both sort of onto their own things, which is normal for college. But then seeing that one scene of them genuinely bonding and acknowledging that makes me think back, and now I'm gonna be curious when I rewatch season 4. I'm gonna be curious to notice how they're setting up that friendship differently than in the previous seasons. In a way, I feel like having this talk now is good, because at least like they have acknowledged the fact that like they grew apart a little, and as long as they talk about it and understand it, that means that hopefully they can just grow to have even a stronger relationship. So I feel like this talk was necessary. Obviously, you guys know that I fucking love Tara and Anya, but, you know, the thing is that I don't think they were right for this episode, so I like what they did. I mean, of course, we saw them in the beginning of the episode, which was perfect. I feel like that was as much Tara and Anya that we should have this episode. because I think that really, especially given everything that went down in the previous episode, we had to focus on these 4 characters and how their relationship, you know, should be reconnected. It was really weird to see Buffy sort of go in alone, but I'm glad that Riley was there. I have to say, Riley, sir, I'm so sorry. I completely misread Riley. I mean, I was hoping that this was what was happening, but at the same time, I think a part of me was like, oh, he's just evil and I don't want to accept it. But the fact that he is not is great, except that really makes me think he's gonna die. Because if he died as evil, Buffy would be upset, but like not as upset. I have to say that there was this one scene that made me a little bit suspicious. When Anya and Xander were laying down in bed, that reminded me exactly of like Willow and Oz laying in bed, having some fun before it all went down. Because Xander is one of the core 4, and I feel like they're not going to mess with them. But Anya is like not exactly off limits. So that concerned me a little for Anya's like well-being. Like, I really hope they're not trying to kill her off, because that would really upset me, because I think she's such a fun and great character. But that scene, because everything was working out, I mean, it was not working out so well, but I just mean that like they had such a sweet sort of bonding moment, and the way that they look at each other, that I was like, oh no. You know, whenever things are too good, it's like, you know that something bad is gonna happen. Really think it's so important to talk about just Xander's presence this episode, because first of all, I think he was hilarious. I think Xander had some of the best quotes of the episode, if not the funniest ones. So Xander was killing it. And I feel like seeing his vulnerability this episode was so hard, because I feel like we have seen, like, I have a very vivid, you know, image in my head of both SMG and Allison crying, and I feel like we haven't seen that much vulnerability from Xander, probably because he's a man, and men are not expected to cry because society sucks. And so I like that for the first, well, maybe not for the first time, but I think this was definitely a glimpse into like something deeper inside of him. Like, you know, it just, he felt genuinely upset in a way that I don't remember ever seeing him that way. I feel like usually when our squad is upset, I think Xander immediately goes to anger. You know, I'm just thinking about like Angelus and stuff. Like, he is all about channeling that into rage, because maybe that's easier for him. And so actually getting to see him just be sad is just really like sad. There's no way about it. But you know, I like that this is happening right before the season finale, because I know that this is something that they're gonna have to address in season 5. Same thing with like the Buffy and Willow talk, because you know, Buffy was saying like, I was neglecting you this season. And I think that this is like a setup for the fact that in season 5, they're just gonna get like tighter, because even though they might have taken a little bit of some space this season, which I will discuss all of that in like my season 4 recap, I guess. But it feels like it was a comforting way of telling the audience that like, don't worry, they're gonna like bond even more in the next season. And I was like, thank you, especially because since I have that gut feeling that Riley was gonna die, and Buffy was saying that Riley is the one who was sort of taking up her time, then I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, if he dies in the season 4 finale, I guess you and Willow will have a lot of time alone. Everything is pointing that way, which means it's probably not going to. And I still don't know what's going to happen in the next episode, and it's still in the back of my head. I'm still thinking, what the fuck is episode 22? And you would think that at this point I would get some more clarity, but I would just like to make it clear that I have not. They have been going back and forth with this whole idea of, is Riley a bad man? Is Riley a good man? And even though it took me a really long time, and we're literally like at the very last episode of the season, I think I can say with fair confidence that I think Riley is actually a good man. That was really interesting, the fact that he was programmed to do all of this. Even though he did take the chip away, I wonder if there's any part of him that could still sort of be connected in some way. I don't know, everything this episode almost seemed a little bit too easy. Usually I feel like the finales are not this rushed, and it makes sense because the finale sort of did start in the previous episode, but at the same time there's so many things that they set up this episode that they should have set up the last episode if this were to be the 2-part finale. You know what I mean? Because we only found out this episode, I think, about the whole like Adam is trying to create a race kind of thing. Like, we sort of really only understood Adam's like ultimate plan right now. So that's what's confusing me with the like rushed timing of this episode, because it's like they find out what Adam is up to, they find out how to defeat him, and they're able to defeat him all in the same episode. Like they don't have to go out and like search for any sort of magical thingies. No, like they have everything ready. And I think that maybe watching episode 22 is going to make things more clear in my head. I really want to talk about Buffy and the witchy stuff, because that was really cool, but really creepy. I think this was the coolest way to defeat Adam. I actually really, really loved it, because we were able to see that Buffy was not able to do it alone. Like every time she tried to literally physically combat him, like she was never able to. And I think this was like the perfect way to go around it, because it showed how the other three characters were like crucial in that. It's like what they were saying, Buffy was going in alone, but she kind of wasn't. And I think this was a really great way to do it, because if the squad was there, I'd be too concerned for their well-beings. But this way they were still like there with her, but not with the same amount of like danger. Plus it was like really, really cool. Like the shield, fucking awesome. We gotta do that more. And, you know, the thing in Buffy's eyes, though, like that strength, the something inside of her at that moment was very scary, though. Like, Buffy genuinely looked scary. I feel like even when you see Buffy kicking ass, you know that, like, she's such a great person that I don't think she looks scary all that often. But then whenever they do this thing with, like, the eyes, that's what gets me. It kind of reminded me a lot of, like, The Coming Part 2, if I'm not mistaken, when Willow does the spell in the hospital bed. It's like you can tell that they're messing with something like deep and like dangerous, but also so powerful and so cool. But it's just really sketchy, because you look at Buffy and you're like, I know that you're not like the Buffy I know, and it's kind of nerve-wracking like how powerful she was. But it was really, really fucking cool. And I'm glad that Riley was there to help her out. So like even if the squad themselves were like on the outside, I like that she had a man on the inside, Riley. And the fact that he like cut it out of his own skin, like that was like disturbing, but also like the biggest proof of like strength, because I can't imagine the amount of strength that it took for him to do that. It showed me not just how much power, like physical strength Riley has, but I guess like mental, because I think this is all about like being able to fight against it in a more like mental state. And I guess because the thing was in his heart, maybe because his heart loves Buffy, that gave him some sort of strength. Like it was just really kind of awesome. I think we should read the title for the next episode so that I can do what I'm going to attempt are going to be sort of possibly predictions, but I have no idea. The next episode is called Restless. I just realized there's no number beside the episode, and there was no to be continued on this one. So that was really the finale. Like, that's it? Okay. Could this be like a setup for season 5? Could the entire episode be setting up the season 5 big bad or something? Like setting up a storyline, setting up what we're going to be talking about? This is so confusing. I kind of thought that they were going to revert a lot of the things that they did this episode and make us fight Adam again. But the fact that it's also not a continuation just makes it feel like we're actually done with Adam. Like an episode early. But then I don't understand why they didn't make this episode 501. Okay, I think my brain is about to short circuit. So I guess I don't have many predictions other than the fact that I guess we're really done with the Adam storyline, and so we might be setting up the season 5 big bad. That is genuinely like the only thing I could possibly imagine. Well, I guess I'm gonna go watch the next episode and see what happens. So thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode, which was interesting but very confusing, at least for myself. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode, and have a great day.